It's Song Talk Radio.
Welcome to Song Talk Radio, the show with songwriters talking to other songwriters about the craft of songwriting. We share tips, tools, and techniques, and together we all become better at writing songs. Dialing in from our headquarters in Toronto, I'm Neil Modi. My usual co-host, Phil Emery, is away boxing. So, for everyone else, please send your comments and questions to @SongTalkRadio on Facebook or Instagram, or feedback@songtalk.ca for the email, and we'll share your thoughts on the show. And please visit songtalk.ca to see the show post for this episode, to find links to resources we mention, and to download lyric and chord sheets to follow along with the songs that we feature. Today, we're very pleased to welcome Canadian country artist Brettyn Rose to the show. How you doing, Brettyn?
Hi, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, thanks. Thanks for joining us all the way from sunny Alberta.
Yes. Yeah, it's actually sunny here today, which is a shocker. So I'm happy to be here.
That's normal for Alberta, isn't it?
Yeah, the last month and a half, it's been a lot of whiplash of snow, rain, then 25 degrees, then back to cold. And I was out of town for a little bit, so I came home and it was green, the sun is shining, and I'm very happy about it.
That's how it's been in Toronto. This has been a very, very late blooming spring. It was cold all of April and cold most of May. So it's only the past week we finally got really nice 20 plus warm weather.
Yeah, same here.
Awesome. Great. Okay. And before we get to Brettyn's great stuff, just another heads up. You're going to like this, Brettyn. Our songwriting challenge for 2026 has dropped. And this year we're proposing to do a challenge on writing a traditional country song.
There you go. That's cool.
Which will certainly be a stretch for Phil and I, because we're not usually country songwriters, and as well as for a lot of our listeners. I think it'll be a good stretch. And of course, we did the launch episode of several weeks back now with singer-songwriter Blair Packham, who teaches songwriting at the college level and always proposes to his students to write a traditional country song, and many of them struggle with it. So we thought, hey, let's struggle with it too.
Yeah, I love that. Good challenge.
yeah, certainly. And we always invite our previous guests as well to take part in the challenge, because we also, as well as showcasing the hosts' answers to the challenge, we then follow up with our listeners' songs who submit their songs to the podcast. So we sometimes up to 4 or 5 episodes worth of entries that we get depending on the challenge. Yeah, a great little community here, and our listeners are awesome, and they always send in the most creative angles on things and stuff. So
it's amazing.
Very, very cool. So I'm sure it'll be no sweat for you, as you're already a country artist.
Yeah, it might still be a little tricky. You never know.
You never know. And well, I mean, we're proposing in our challenge to write a traditional country song. Do you make a differentiation between traditional country and modern country?
I don't know. I feel like there's definitely maybe some elements of traditional country, but I don't really know. I wouldn't say I'm a traditional country artist, so it still might be a bit of a challenge for me as too, but I love it. I love traditional country and traditional country songs, but I don't know if I've ever set out to intentionally write a traditional country song before. I'm very just write whatever comes out kind of person, so I don't know.
Right, yeah, because often with the modern stuff, it's more intersected with pop. It's more intersected with rock or with hip hop even, and stuff elements of that. But how do you dial it back and really do the old fashioned kind of thing? That's the trick.
100%. Yeah, there's so many different avenues within country now.
Yeah, and it's so difficult to not inject modernity into your
definitely
your thing.
And I know for me personally, I listen to so many different types of music, so it is, like you said, not tricky, or it is tricky to not be influenced by so many things that you are exposed to or listening to. And especially like me, when I listen to a variety of stuff, it kind of can definitely come out in the music for sure.
and then that's what it's meant to do. And that's and it's not even that it's tricky, it's just whatever comes natural to you may not fit the challenge, right? And that's the whole idea with these challenges, is to stretch you outside of what you normally would do.
Yes, I think that's awesome. A great challenge for the brain.
Thanks. Okay. All right, on to the main event. Brettyn Rose is a rising country artist with music rooted in an acoustic aesthetic, woven with honest lyrics, powerful vocals, and a hint of sparkle. With her captivating voice, relatable songwriting, and a sound that is completely her own, the Okotos, Alberta native is demonstrating she is a necessary voice in country music. Nobody sounds like Brettyn. Rose is already making her mark by being selected as a top 8 semi-finalist in SiriusXM and the Canadian Country Music Association's Top of the Country program in 2025, as well as having 5 Country Music Alberta Award nominations, most recently including Horizon Female Artist of the Year in 2026 and Songwriter of the Year 2026 for her single Wild West, which just might be her best yet. Rose is proving she is one to watch with notable live performances and the release of her debut EP this spring. Wow. Okay. And tonight we're going to be talking to Brettyn about her song See It On Her. Be sure to download the lyric sheet and the show post at the show post on songtalk.ca to follow along. Let's take a listen.
Just because you want to. That's something I never once saw him do. She's making plans she never made before. I guess it never made sense to the way it does with you. Smiles when she walks in a room, those kisses from forever will last longer. I can see it on her. You turn her a brighter shade of beautiful. When she dances in your eyes, it's some kind of wonderful. She don't even remember heartbroken record, 'cause she's a different song now when you sing her. The smiles when she walks in a room, those kisses from out of the blue, all the love she gets from you, I can see it on her. She wears it like a brand new dress, can't get enough of how it fits. Like your kind of forever will last longer. I can see it on her. She don't have to wonder. She knows you love her. I can see it on her. The smiles when she walks in a room, those kisses from out of the blue, all the love she gets from you, I can see it on her. She wears it like a brand new dress, can't get enough of how it fits. Like your kind of forever will last longer. Your kind of forever will last longer. I can see it on her. I can see it on her. I can see it on her.
That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah. A really beautiful narrative, and I like how it takes the point of view, like you're singing to a friend about their relationship. It's not about your relationship, right? It's not super personal thing, which is kind of a different.
Yeah, it was kind of fun that way. It's actually written like to my mom in the song. Her is my mom. for me
Okay,
personally.
nice.
But it was kind of fun to write it in a way that it could be interpreted as like for a sister or a friend or just somebody
Yeah.
overall, that watching somebody that you love be in a relationship and be loved the way they deserve, I think is a really cool thing to experience. It's really cool.
Yeah, yeah, it's very encouraging and very sort of supportive and
Yeah.
that sort of thing. I noticed when you guys submitted this song that there's a co-writer on this, Chris Yurchik.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about the collaboration process? How did it work between the two of you?
Yeah. So Chris is an amazing writer. I wrote this down in Nashville, where he lives. He's from, I think, New Jersey. I thought he was Canadian for some reason, but he's not. He's American. But yeah, we wrote it down in Nashville, I think in 2024. And with songwriting, you kind of have to be vulnerable and open with people to write honest music, which is what I always try and want to do. And so this song is about my mom, and my parents split up in 2021 very suddenly, and so watching my mom go through the heartbreak and then going on the other side and her growing into the person, like the best version of herself, and finding new love, and just living her best life now. I just wrote with Chris. I'd written with Chris one time before. He wrote "Leave It on My Lips," which is also on my EP with me, and so this time which is like more of a fun, lighthearted song, and this one I was like, here's all my trauma, Chris. And so I just kind of like dumped the whole story on him, because I knew I wanted to write this. I knew the feel and the vibe and the message that I wanted to say in the song, so I kind of just shared the story with him so he would understand it, and we just sat and wrote the song in the living room of the Airbnb. And I kind of had a few lyrics and melody ideas, and Chris's kind of just like took in the story, and then he wrote down some of his own ideas, and then we kind of just pieced it together a little bit by like that.
Really? Wow. Okay, that's amazing. That's amazing. That's often the best kind of collaboration, where you can't really tell, well, this part of the song was mine and this part of the song was his. Like it was all just kind of melds together into one thing, right?
100%. Yeah, 100%. And it's really nice. Chris is so nice, like writing with him, and he's very like wants to help bring your ideas and help tell whatever story you want to tell. Like he's a really amazing writer, and yeah, he's just a lovely person. So it doesn't feel like you're this is mine. Like you just explained with him. It feels like he wants to serve the song, which is really cool.
Yeah. How do you decide you're going to co-write with somebody versus not? Like, did the idea come first and then you decided to co-write with Chris, or were you already planning to co-write something with him and then this kind of fell on the plate?
I think I was already planning to write with him, because I was on a writing trip to Nashville, so I had my writes kind of like lined up for the week, and Chris was obviously one of them. And I knew I wanted this. I knew I had this idea, and I kind of was saving it for the trip. Throughout the trip for Chris, because I sometimes get a feeling of just I'm meant to write something with somebody, and so I kind of had the feeling that I feel like I should write this with Chris. Chris is so beautiful with his lyrics, and the way he says things is, I think, really unique, and he is really good at saying things in a different way. And I just knew I wanted this to be a like more story lyric heavy song, and so I wanted to bring it to Chris, and luckily he liked the idea, and that's kind of how that came about. So the plan was to write with Chris, but I did bring him this idea kind of on purpose as well.
Are you always co-writing with somebody, or do you do solo writes as well?
I do solo writes as well, but definitely I'm most of the songs, I think all the songs I've released have been co-writes. I think it's kind of fun to have another brain there. I know I'm a very analytical person. I can be a bit of a perfectionist, a little too hard on myself sometimes. So when I'm in my creative process, if I get blocked, I can block myself even further by being like, why can't I get this? So I found co-writing has been nice to have two brains to just like bounce ideas off of, or if I do get stumped, to have another person to kind of maybe give a new idea, redirect us a little bit. And I also love writing with other people to tell their stories too. Like I love writing for other artists as well. It's really cool to help be a part of telling somebody else's story, or just coming up with a whole new story too. I think it's really fun. But yeah, love solo writing, and I love co-writing too.
Do you ever find that, and I'm not saying that this song is this necessarily, but if you co-write with somebody, especially if one of you is coming with a really personal story, that you get another brain on it, that's fine. You can get the thing done. You come up with these interesting ideas. Does it water it down a little bit? Does it kind of generify it a little bit so that it's not as super specific as you might have done on your own? Do you ever find that?
Maybe for me personally, I don't know if I found that because I'm very honest with people in my co-writes. I will tell them the specific details that I want in there, or specific things that have happened, or I'll just like speak my mind to in writes if, I'm like, oh, that's not really like relates to me, or that doesn't, I don't really fit the story. Like, I think that's, and again, that's kind of like a scary thing, and you have to be really vulnerable in writes like that. But for me, I know the purpose of writing is to tell an honest story, or tell a story that is personal to me, or whatever it is. So I want to really make sure that the story that I want to get across is getting across. So I think that's the most kind of important thing I always keep in the back of my mind. So I always want to make sure, no matter who I'm writing with, that the story will get told.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, because like you described this as you met up with Chris and be like, dump all your trauma, right? But
Yeah.
on the face of it, like I'm reading this going, it's incredibly positive. I don't see any trauma in this. It is about, like you said, it's about, your mom's living her best life, and that comes across. It's very like even in the bridge, you don't go to some dark place and come back. No, we're still in the positivity. We're still
Totally.
in the uplifting feeling.
Yeah. I think that was for me. I wanted to share the backstory and like the darker side of it, or like the heartbreak that she went through, in order to tell the positivity of the story, if that makes sense. Because I did want to write it about her being on the other side of heartbreak, and it kind of just fell out this way. But I wanted to give him the context so we could, make sure it wasn't watered down, or to tell all the true story, and can kind of give him the context of how her journey went. And I think, again, being open and vulnerable and just sharing everything helps give our writers context. And I feel like then it's kind of easier to tell the story that a person is trying to tell.
Yeah, for sure. It was a conscious decision with both you and Chris to sort of say there is all this baggage attached to this, but we want to try to highlight the flip side, the positive side.
Yeah.
Maybe there's another song for all that other stuff, right?
There actually is. It's on the EP. I wrote a song called "That Ain't You." That was kind of like a letter to my dad, which is about more of the I guess like sadder stuff that I wrote with my friend Mallory Johnson. And same thing, I'd known Mallory before, and I respect her and love her as a writer and a friend, and so I brought her the story of all the things, and we wrote that song. And then I knew I wanted to write then a song, kind of have one to my dad, one to my mom, sort of thing. And so then I told Chris the whole story, and then it kind of turned out to be, I knew it was going to be a positive song because that's how I was feeling, but it definitely kind of came out naturally that way with Chris.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So before we played it, we were talking about the traditional versus modern, and not necessarily that it is a duality, but there are a lot of traditional elements in this, like 1, 4, 5 with a minor 6 chords throughout, even in the bridge, I think, and a very clear lyric about what it's about. There's no guessing as to what the song is about. Although there is that little bit, like I assumed that it was singing to a friend or to a sibling or something like that. Like,
totally.
And
that's kind of our goal. To not make it specific.
I mean, make it open enough, because not everyone's had that experience where their mom was separated and had that flip side experience necessarily, right? So so it's great that way, and very, very, very storytelling in the lyrics. So those are the traditional things. And I admit, and even in the melodies, like kind of climbing up and climbing down, and that sort of easy breezy, sing-songy type of thing, right? And so to me, like, there's not a lot modern in this. It is very rooted in the old fashioned, which it's got like even your description says a little bit of sparkle. There is a little bit of sparkle in this for sure, right? It's very bright, and the sonic landscape is very bright and open. So it does sound modern in terms of the production, but at the core, this could be, maybe it's not as, they say the traditional country stuff can be rooted in sorrow and despair, and
Yeah.
I lost my truck and everything. Right. So,
Right. Yeah.
So there's none of that.
No, not in this one.
But
Yeah.
it's interesting to me, given how we've dropped this challenge, to have a country artist on the podcast now, and start to look at those dimensions and see
Totally.
how it fits. But I'm sure,
Yeah.
like you say, like you don't really think about that. You just write your song, right?
Yeah, and I think that's why I originally like fell in love with country music, is I didn't grow up in country or exposed to it as a kid, and I think the reason I fell in love with it so much, or I feel like that's where I'm meant to be genre wise, is because of the storytelling, because that's how I naturally am. I feel like I started writing as when I was like 13 to process my feelings and experiences and to tell stories, and I feel like that's just always kind of innately how I've been. So, and that's why I love country. And then I fell in love with traditional country and the storytelling, the instrumentation of like pedal steel and fiddle and whatever it is, and the artistry of country music I absolutely love. And I was like, oh, it feels very at home here, and that's kind of why I love it so much. It definitely comes from the storytelling, and that's kind of the natural way I write, just because it's how I process things. So kind of just makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's really great imagery in this too. Like I really love the pictures it paints, like the brand new dress. You can see it on her. The kisses out of the blue, the smile when she walks in the room. Like it's very descriptive that way, but
Yes.
at the same time, it is very open to anyone else's experiences. It's not super specific the way a traditional country song would be. A traditional country song might name the room that she's walking into at the bar down the
Totally.
street that
Yeah,
meant a lot to them,
painting
kind
the
of thing, or
literal
whatever,
picture.
right?
Yeah, 100%.
Painting more of a very localized
Yes.
picture. Like
Yeah.
this could take place in downtown Manhattan.
Oh, 100%. And I think I think we were more writing about the feeling of it and literally
Yes.
watching somebody, and it doesn't really matter where you are. And even too, like my sister is also in a very like happy, healthy relationship, and it's really cool to see that on her as well. And I love that we kept it open, like that's what can be interpreted however anyone can relate to it. And yeah, for me it's about my mom, but it could be literally about anybody for anybody else, which I think is a cool thing about songwriting.
Yeah. And how was it for your co-writer Chris, sort of getting into that vibe? Like, could he relate in some way? He must have been able to.
I don't know. He didn't really he didn't really, I don't think, say too much if he related or not, but he's so talented at taking somebody's story or taking what somebody wants to say and writing it. It's like he knows has experienced everything. I don't know. He's such a good lyricist and writer. Like he's amazing. And yeah, I told him everything. We spent probably a good like 30 or 40 minutes at the start of the write of me just like telling him everything about my life in this situation specifically, and we kind of just took it in, and we took some time and then just wrote the song. So yeah, it happened really naturally, which was cool.
I've heard that with regard to other collaborations, and I suppose I've done this too on the I haven't collaborated a lot, but I've collaborated enough. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But if it's the first time collaborating, you just talk for however long, just to get to know each other, or just to catch up or whatever about anything. It's rare you start writing lyric right away. Like it doesn't.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And this was only my second time writing with Chris and like being in the same room as him. And so, yeah, I was like, sorry, this is a lot. I know this is like a lot of information and a lot of personal information, but I feel like I need to write this song. And I just felt like he would be really good at helping me bring it to life. And so it we just kind of went for it with that one.
You guys ever butt heads on anything and be like, we don't agree on a certain approach or chord choice or a lyric choice or a melody choice or anything like that?
I don't think so. We were stuck a little bit on the hook, landing the hook the way we wanted to. And we kind of went back and forth. We were stumped for a little bit, but then once we kind of had a breakthrough on it, it just like the rest of the song flowed. Like we got a little stumped and then we had a little breakthrough moment, and then the rest of the write was really easy and the rest of the song came really quick. But we definitely worked for the chorus a little bit on this one.
Nice. Yeah. That's always kind of a golden moment, right? When you find the key to the song, it's like, okay, we got this.
And it was like,
and then you're right. The rest of it just sort of flows from that, and it's
totally.
really
Chris said something, and I was like, "That's it. We got it. Like, let's go."
Yeah. I lately I've been using like, that's the sauce.
Yes, that's the sauce. Yeah, literally,
Got it, yeah, kind of thing, right?
that did happen in this, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So how about with the musical choices, like the chords and things? I mean, it's, like I said, this is a very simple 1-4-5 minor 6 kind of thing. Do you ever experiment with stretching, borrowing chords from other key signatures, anything like that?
Oh yeah, it's really fun to experiment with chords. We specifically kept this one more simple, I guess, not maybe for the more traditional sense, but when I played the song for my producer Maddie, and I told him again, he literally watched me. We've been working together for so long. He watched me go through all the experiences that I did on this like whole project, and so he already knew the context of everything, and the song felt really kind of timeless and bright and spacey to me, and so we really kept that. He really kept that in the production, and so we wanted to kind of keep the chords simple to give it that space and more timeless feel. But definitely on some of my other songs, we've experimented a lot with more funky chords and kept it a little more, a little different than just like 1-4-5. And but it's super fun to experiment with chords. I love doing that. It can change the trajectory of a song so much, and I think that's a really fun aspect of it. And seeing what different veins you can take the song and when from its basic form to so many different options.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and it is a challenge, especially when you're like for myself. Like I haven't written a 1-4-5 song since like I was a teenager. You know what I mean? Like that was like the first song I wrote. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play around with other things. So it tends to be more experimental and more out there, as it were. But yeah, but there's, you know, like I think I don't know about a lot of people, but some people sort of, you know, shy back and go, that's just a 1-4-5. Been there, done that. But I think when you've got your other things to lean on, like the really captivating melodies and the good storytelling and all the rest of that, you can sort of get away with it, right? Like it's okay.
Yeah, I think it depends what suits the song, and I personally think the 1-4-5 like suits the song and makes a lot of sense. And but yeah, there's a time for experimentation, but I also feel like there's a kind of just see where the song takes you. I feel like that's kind of my method with recording and making music in general, is just kind of see what the song needs and what would serve the song best, and let the song speak for itself. It'll always tell you.
Yeah, because to be honest, like the lyric is very one idea, right? It's you're not kind of, and it's a pretty short song. I think it's under 3 minutes, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's a little over 3 minutes.
Just over 3 minutes. Okay, fine. Because it does take its time a little bit in the verses, but it's not venturing somewhere. Like I said before, like your bridge might have gone to some place into the past, into the dark thing, right? And then you might have decided to modulate to a different key to sort of reflect that in a different way. But the lyric doesn't really point you there, and the idea doesn't really point you there, right? So I think that's probably the best decision. Is the story is very simple. Let's keep the music very simple. Have it all working together in a synergy like that. And
yes,
it's great. Because you're right. There's a time and a place for all that weird stuff.
Yeah, totally. I feel like it feels like a timeless song to me, and I think we kept it that way with the production and to kind of help make it feel that way. And that's kind of what we had in mind, or that's how it felt to me anyways when we wrote it. And Maddie, my producer, kind of had that same feeling. So I was like, if we're both feeling that way, that's got to be for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a sign of a good producer too, because oftentimes producer will come in, well, okay, we need to substitute this chord, we need to substitute that chord, and sort of do a little twist on things and stuff, and
and sometimes that's amazing. Like producers have amazing ideas. My producer Maddie has helped bring so many songs to a new level, and I love working with him. But this song, it just kind of spoke for itself on this one.
So how does it compare with the rest of the? Is this on an EP then, or an album?
Yes, an EP. I just put out my EP at May 8th. It's called The Wild West. So it's my debut EP, and so it's 6 tracks, and I think this one's track number 5. Yeah. Okay, your debut EP. You have singles out before this? Yes. Yeah, I've only ever done singles, and I released a good chunk of the EP as singles first before putting it out as a whole project. So it's my first time having like a little complete body of work out, it feels really good to have that.
Yeah. Are you an album person in terms of your listening, or do you?
I definitely appreciate an album for sure, for sure. I mean, obviously singles have their like moment as well, but I love telling a story, the whole story of an album that people tell. I think putting so much thought and care into the order of an album, maybe if it has a theme or specific story that it's telling, I really appreciate that in a piece of music. So I want to do that too. And this the collection of songs really summarize a chapter of my life really well, and it just was really cool, even just personally to mark this chapter with this EP. And so it's really cool to have it out in the world as a whole body of work.
Oh, for sure, for sure. It enables you to say, this is done, now I can move on.
Yeah, there was definitely like a before and after these experiences for me. So yeah, it's cool to mark it that way for sure.
Yeah. And like you said, you're always writing about your experiences, journaling and whatnot.
Yeah,
before.
exactly.
So in some ways, this is a continuation of the same thing. It's just in a different form.
Yeah, it'll be a new chapter now.
And probably arguably a more public form.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely honest in all my songs always. But I love honesty and artistry, and I respect artists who are honest so much. And I feel like those are the ones I always relate to, and so I want to do that with my music as well.
Right on.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. So what's next for this? Do you have a music video for this or anything like that?
No music video.
No? Do you have any at all?
No, I actually don't have any music videos yet. That's still on the list.
It's still on the list. Okay. Yeah. Cool to see. But yeah, it's great. Okay. I'm here in the band. I think that's about all the time we have on the show today.
Awesome.
Special thanks to Brettyn Rose. So where can our listeners find out more about you and hear some more music?
Yeah, you can find me on any of your favorite streaming platforms, social media platforms at Brettyn Rose, BRETTYN ROSC. I'll be there.
Awesome. Okay, great. And we'll certainly put links to that on the show post at songtalk.ca for this episode. And we want to hear from you too. So please send your comments on Facebook or Instagram to @songtalkradio, or send us an email, feedback@songtalk.ca. And be sure to check out our YouTube channel for live performance videos and full episodes, and subscribe today to the Song Talk Radio podcast on your favorite podcast provider. And please support us at our Patreon page. You can visit songtalk.ca/support. Thank you for everyone who supported us so far. And please join us at our next monthly Song Talk meetup. Whether you're in Toronto for in-person meetups or anywhere in the world for our online meetups, it's free to join on Eventbrite and free to attend the meetup, bring a song and a lyric sheet, and get constructive feedback from other songwriters. Visit songtalk.ca/meetup to register. You can follow me at neilmodi.com. Phil, we're here. You can follow him at philemery.ca. And Brettyn, what's your favorite social media channel? Where do you post the most?
Ooh, probably Instagram is probably my favorite.
Yep, that's all the music people are.
Yeah, definitely.
Be sure to stop by the website songtalk.ca to browse past shows and find out how you can be a guest. Thanks for tuning in, and keep on writing. Okay, and that's a cut.
Sweet. Well, thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Yeah, that was great. Wonderful guest.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. I love talking songwriting. So
Awesome. Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, really great song too. I'm looking forward to hearing the rest of your EP. It's on Bandcamp. You a Bandcamper?
No, I don't think it's on Bandcamp.
No, should put it on Bandcamp.
It might be. I actually don't know. I've never used Bandcamp.
You know about Bandcamp?
Oh yeah, I know about it, but I've never used it. I'm on Apple Music most of the time.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I've heard from other artists as well that if you want to support an artist, Bandcamp is the way to go. Like as a fan.
Oh, okay.
Like if I want to support an artist, I will buy their download off of Bandcamp or whatever.
Oh, nice.
Because you get your pittance of
Yeah.
microscopic amounts of pennies on Apple or
Right.
Spotify or whatever. But
Yes.
Bandcamp, you can actually make a couple of bucks, right? It's
Right.
not-
Yeah, no, that makes a difference for sure.
it's really not a bad thing. But yeah, but the difference is you go digital distribution, it ends up in all the stores except for Bandcamp. Bandcamp, you do have to upload manually. You have to manually do it and upload your
Okay,
artwork
and
and
then
the
it's probably
tracks
not on
and
there.
everything. Right. If you haven't done it deliberately, then it ain't there.
Yeah.
You know, but
There we go.
It's,
We'll
it's
have
not
to
for
do that.
everyone. And really, it's for other. I find this for other musicians. Other musicians who handed out QR codes to their Bandcamp at their shows, and all the general people out there, they have no idea what to do with that.
Yeah.
It goes to this website and they're like, "This is not a streaming service. What do I do with this?"
Yeah, literally. That's so fair.
Yeah, so it's a way for musicians to support each other, but for the general
no, that
population,
totally makes sense.
they don't really do that. But yeah.
Yeah.
You should come to our meetup is this weekend. It's online on Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, I'll check it out. I think I have a gig this Sunday, but I will keep an
Okay.
eye out for maybe the next one.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're kind of flip flopping on not flip flopping, but we're keeping it online because we're looking for another venue here in Toronto to
Okay,
host
nice.
the in-person one. We did it in person for many years. And then when the pandemic hit, obviously we went online and just sort of stuck online because we got people from across Canada, across the US,
Yeah.
elsewhere in the world. We had people logging in from Australia, and
Wow, that's amazing.
one time we had someone log in from Turkey. They were Canadian, but they were living in
Wow.
Turkey.
That's cool. Wow, look at
Okay,
you
man.
guys building a community. That's amazing.
Oh yeah. We've always had a nice little community here, but
Yeah.
you know, it's fun. But yeah, but finding the live venue is getting to be more of a struggle these days.
Yeah, I believe it. Well, hopefully you guys find one soon, and I'll keep an eye out on the socials for sure.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah. You'll be following us on Instagram and stuff. You'll be able to see us post
Yeah.
about that stuff. Cool. All right.
Sweet.
All right. Well, it takes about
Thank
a
you.
week or so before we edit this and send it out. But I'll send a note to Carrie when it goes out, and
Perfect.
you can share it with your peeps.
Perfect. Sounds great to me. Thank you so much for chatting with me today.
Yeah, you betcha.
Yeah.
All right. Take care.
Have a good night.
You too. Take care.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.